If you're worried and in shock because you've just been laid off, you're not alone. Walk with me through the 5 lessons that I've learned in my first 30 days post-layoff. They just might make your first month a little easier, or at least easier than mine was. And that's what I'm doing on this channel. Sharing the real, honest moments that we all experience, particularly in motherhood. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. I'm connecting, sharing the details of my personal experience with the hope that it makes your journey a little easier. Welcome to All These Moms. So my name is Elizabeth. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, and about 30 days ago, I was laid off from my 6-figure sales job, and it's been rough. So many people in the US are going through the same thing or have already gone through it, and maybe even multiple times. I know that I'm luckier than most, especially as an unemployed mom. My husband is employed, so we have his income. And there are so many single moms, single parents out there right now struggling in unemployment who have no one to rely on and have kids to support and no one supporting them. It's completely gut-wrenching to think about. And my situation is far less challenging, but challenging it for sure is. 30 days in, I am sad AF. This may sound strange, but I feel like I've gone through a divorce and a death at the same time. And I can tell you this confidently because I've gone through both. I've got the bruised ego, all of the things that you can expect when one is laid off. That being said, I have learned some things in the past 30 days and how to reframe this terrible situation, which will hopefully make someone's life a little easier going through the same thing. If that's you, I am so sorry. You're not in a good space right now. You're struggling. You're feeling it all. But we are in this together. Here are the 5 lessons that I've learned in the past 30 days of being unemployed. Let's just get right into it. Lesson 1, job security is an illusion, a figment of your/my imagination. I would say this is the first step that I entered into post-layoff, pretty much immediately. I once believed that being a part of a family business meant you had more security. I was so wrong. Way wrong. Dead wrong. Even saying it now makes me cringe. The relationships that I built in this family business and like the loyalty that I felt to the family, it kept me in a job that did not have the growth potential that I really craved and that I needed. I feel so silly for saying this now, but I actually told myself the company hired me because I was a good fit for the company, which they obviously told me to, that they would commit to my growth and development. I know, so cringe. I'm just being honest. Lesson learned. Companies are going to do what is best for the company in every situation. It is my job to stay relevant and to take charge of my career. Therefore, job security is an illusion, which rolls me right into my next lesson, lesson 2. Your job does not define you. I found this reality really hard to avoid, generally speaking. I mean, am I alone here? I mean, most people, when laid off or fired, they're gonna take it personal. Most people would immediately think, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? I want answers. Am I wrong? It's been a deeply held belief of mine that the quality of my output in basically any aspect of life, personal, business, whatever, basically defines me. How I present to the world, basically. That is me, right? Well, shortly after I got the news that I was laid off, I spoke with my brother, and the first thing he said to me was, and this was just like a couple of hours after I was laid off, your job does not define you. Cheesy or cliche as it sounds, it was exactly what I needed to hear. And the message hit. It landed, making moving forward just a little easier for me. Doug, thank you, and I love you. All of this was perfect timing though, because this brought me to my next lesson, which soon became the focus of my current existence. Lesson 3, keep your financial game tight. Oh my goodness. So for most of my life, I had convinced myself that I wasn't a numbers person and that I was never going to be savvy with numbers. Barely financially responsible. My being laid off has shown me that I am and have made good choices over the past 15 years or so. In my late 20s or so, I started to get real honest with myself about my finances. Fire was lit under my butt, and I started to actually read my credit card statements. Don't come for me when I say that, but I started actually reading them, trying to understand them, and getting a full picture of what my financial reality actually was. I decided to get on a program and aggressively pay off my credit card debt, pay off my student loan debt, and pay off my car loan. which was the totality of my debt at that time. All of which was way easier to do at that time because I was child-free. I was making good money, and any sleep deprivation that I had was only because I had so much fun the night before. But it's almost 20 years later now. Almost, not quite. Finally feeling the effects of that decision. Feel the long-term effects of that, especially when I'm in basically a little bit of a crisis. I feel it now, deep inside my very upset stomach. Once getting laid off and going through the first initial stages of shock and self-pity and self-doubt and the undeniable identity crisis, you immediately begin to chop off the unnecessary financial limbs in your life. Just trimming off that fat. Everything from eating out, shopping, which I'm not even a big fan of, but any kind of shopping, eating out, gone. Only absolutely expenses remain. And if you know, you know. Once we did that, that's when I realized we are going to be okay. With my husband's income and our precious emergency fund, for now, we will be okay for a few months. But giving me the absolute gift to take a little bit of time to find the next right position for me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I need to get back to work. I need to get back to work as soon as possible. But that decision I made almost 20 years ago is bearing fruit for me now. But I am here to say, if I can get myself out of the hole that I was in before, anyone can. So when I started my get my shit together financial journey, I had over $25,000 in student loan debt. I had roughly a $10,000 car loan. I had over $15,000 in rando credit card debt. If you would like for me to make a separate video about how I did get out of that kind of debt, just leave me a note in the comments below. The takeaway is, if I can do this, so can you. It's hard, but it is possible. But of course, this lovely state of pride quickly ended as I remembered that I was unemployed, which is moving me right on into my next lesson, lesson 4. Taming the wild beast of your schedule is going to give you that extra oomph in your productivity. I naively thought, before I was ever unemployed, that I actually would know how to handle being unemployed. I would know what to do. This is the first time I've ever been laid off. But I know lots of people who have, people very close to me. I've witnessed their struggles firsthand, ignorantly, and I'm very honest in saying this, ignorantly. I looked at those experiences and I thought to myself, I am actually learning from these experiences, via osmosis. I'm learning. I'm seeing what's working and what's not working, and I'm learning some lessons just watching them. Now I realize you can have the knowledge, but the feelings, dealing with the feelings of being unemployed, the fear, are what's crippling people. The fear that it will take a long time to find a job. You have no idea how long. The fear that you're going to put extra stress on your family. The fear that you're going to have to change your kids' routines. Ugh. Honestly, I'm getting stressed just thinking about it. This fear and chaos in my brain created a blockage. I needed to get organized. I came up with a 6-month plan for myself, starting with my goals. I had different things that I was interested in working on and working towards. I decided to focus on finding jobs in my field. This was the obvious first step for me. I'm also interested in looking for jobs outside of my industry. And then I decided to spend some time establishing myself as a freelancer. I want to make the most of this gift of time, to try something new, and then maybe ignite a dormant spark that just needed a little bit of air. Despite my feelings of fear and the stress I have, I'm excited for the possibilities. There's really a lot of different paths that I can go down, and rarely in life, especially when you're an adult, especially an adult in your 40s, though these opportunities to try very different things come less and less in life. So yeah, seriously, I am excited, mostly. But I need to get organized, so I made a plan. I broke down some milestones based on my goals for 6 months, and then I broke those down even more for 3 months, and then for my first month. While I still feel sick most days, this system or plan has actually helped. I stopped getting too crazy with micromanaging my day. I did that in the first 2 weeks, kind of mapping out every hour, and I stopped that. It was just too much. But having some milestones to work on, every month or every 3 months, It just kind of helps me stay on track, and it gives me like purpose in my day. Without this plan, I would be so stressed out. I would probably be in a puddle of tears most days at the bottom of a bag of Doritos. So if you would like more details on how I made my plan, I'm happy to like go through that, because like I said, I'm kind of focusing on 3 different things right now. So I broke down goals each month for job hunting, for freelancing, and for other things. And so I'm happy to kind of go through that process if you kind of want to see how I did that. Hopefully you have some clarity and are working on keeping your negative thoughts at bay. This was really hard for me in the beginning, but here we are. I'm ushering myself into a new phase, a transformative phase. Lesson 5, dive into some charity work or a side gig and watch those sleeping passions pop out of you like a bottle of perfectly chilled champagne, which I absolutely cannot afford right now. Maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. You have a job, a family, friendships, all the things that fill up your time. Hobbies and side interests are precious, precious luxuries that I just don't have the time to indulge in anymore. Please. I'm happy if I squeeze in a workout or even just like 20 minutes by myself in a day. This is the bar right now. And that's okay, but this is the truth. For all of the negative thoughts and feelings you are experiencing right now, this could be the perfect time for a new adventure. I know this is an incredibly privileged and fortunate statement to say. I know. Please do not leave negative comments about this statement, because I know. Because a lot of people need to replace their income immediately, like now, and will not have the time to think about a bloody adventure. But maybe you can. If you have to go to work immediately, maybe you can take this time to just kind of see how you can be creative and look at how you spend your time maybe a little differently. If you're going to look for a job like me, for example, you can choose where you're going to apply to, hopefully. Anyway, but the point is, you can choose to do something different. Granted, you may not make the same level of money you were making before, but you never know, maybe you'll make even more. This could be your time to try something different, something new. I feel like this is like my time and an opportunity for me to like take a peek into other industries, maybe volunteering, maybe doing side gigs. Take a peek into industries that I never would have had a chance to do in before, or the opportunity to do before, and give you a chance to connect and meet a slew of new people you probably would have never have met otherwise. Think about it. I have no idea how long I will be on this disturbing emotional roller coaster for. Like, who knows? What I can tell you, I am determined to make the best of this time. Hopefully you may have heard some things today in my emotional purge that just might help ease your transition into unemployment and make this time for you, this incredibly stressful time for you, a little easier. So if you found this video helpful, useful, or even entertaining, please click the like button. And if you want to see similar content, right now there will be a healthy amount about unemployment and the effects of unemployment in one's life. Please subscribe. My next video is coming out here soon, and that video will be about how to minimize the impacts of your unemployment on your kids. Because I have one daughter, and I'm going to be making my video about how to minimize the impacts of unemployment on your children. Hit the notification bell if you want to see how I'm doing that. Thank you for watching. This channel is nothing without you. I am truly grateful that you were here and that you watched this video all the way through. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.